Well, hi YouTubers. Okay, I'm back. When I'm going to finish 100 books, and I've been looking forward to finishing this book for a really, really long time, because it is, I love this one, Easy Street the Hard Way by Ron Perlman. Okay, now I've mentioned this previously on my YouTube channel. I absolutely love Ron Perlman. He's one of my favourite character actors. I've seen him in the majority of the films that he's done. Sons of Anarchy, I tried, okay, to get into. Sons of Anarchy is one of these shows where he has got a great script and a great cast and great characters and great actors, but I just couldn't get into it. Sorry, but yeah, so nothing against Sons of Anarchy, I just couldn't get into Sons of Anarchy. Nothing against Sons of Anarchy. Okay, so Easy Street the Hard Way by Ron Perlman. So now, before I even start this, as I'm going to put a video in the links I did last year about Ron Perlman playing Hellboy, and also no longer playing Hellboy due to the fact I'm a fan of Hellboy too. Now, how good Ron Perlman is so funny. Now, yes, this is a biased review. Just let me talk, okay? This is me geeking out about my favourite character actor, okay? So, back in about 1988, I saw Beauty and the Beast. This show here, okay? And I absolutely fell in love with that guy there, Ron Perlman, okay? And I really, really loved Beauty and the Beast. It was just a great show with great characters and great dialogue, and it was just so different to everything that I'd seen on TV at the time. So it just transfixed me. I love the show, okay? Funny enough, I had a shelf collapse the other day, and so I was going through all my old books. I actually found these. I don't know how long I've had these for, but novelizations based on Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, I know. So, yeah. I know I'm doing a book purge at the moment, but these aren't going anywhere, okay? So, and obviously just show off some of my merch that stars Ron Perlman, yep. And Blade 2, which I absolutely love. Blade 2 is a lot better than Blade 1, by the way, because better script, more funnier, better pacing, and it's just more fun, okay? So, and also this as well, I've had this for quite some time. Signed by Guillermo del Toro, Hellboy, the Arts of the movie, which I absolutely love. I've been in Planet a few years ago, and also this, okay? Yeah, signed book Ron Perlman. I also got this Forbidden Planet several years ago. Just close as I'm gonna get to meeting Ron Perlman. Now, many years ago, it was almost about 5 years ago almost. Had an accident, had to learn to walk on my right leg all over again, and yeah, left me with a permanent limp. But hey, shit happens in life, and I was bored and off my tits on Tramadol. I actually wrote a geek list of things I want to do when I'm walking again, okay? And some things are really mundane, some things aren't. Number one on my list is actually meet Ron Perlman. However, due to the fact that I'm not really a big fan of Comic-Cons or those kind of events now, because it's become way too crass and way too commercial, and it gets too hot, and my limp goes up, my foot goes absolutely nuts, and they're expensive, and I just can't afford them. So this book is as close as I'm going to get to actually meeting Ron Perlman. Number one on my geek list, okay? Because, yeah, it's virtually impossible for me, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. Hey, doesn't stop just because I want to meet him, hey. Especially now, apparently he's running for president now. He's going to try be nominated, become president in 2020. So, President Vincent, I know. God, Vincent, that's good. He doesn't love Vincent. Apart from that crappy remake that was going on, which really disappointed me, because I actually thought that it was going to be a continuation of this. I actually thought that Vincent, okay, wasn't going to be Vincent. It's going to be Jacob Wells, Vincent's son. Okay, did I just spoil the end of Beauty and the Beast for you? I don't care. And I actually thought that Vincent transformed into basically his father. Again, like the Hulk, okay? Not, he has a bit of a scar and a temper, and that's it. And it's not cool. So I gave up on Beauty and the Beast in season 2, but my sister, I don't know if that show's still going on, but my sister liked it. My sister Anna, by the way, okay? So, anyway, Easy Street the Hard Way. Okay, so let's talk about the book. This book is so good. This is a biased review because when Perlman writes how he talks, it's a very kind of smooth, kind of rhythmic flow to him. It kind of reminds you, okay, of some kind of like sleazy speakeasy, okay, with, you know, people drinking whiskey and smoking cigars. It's very kind of chilled outlook on life, if you will. However, by dropping in lots of swear words. He swears quite a bit, and it's actually quite refreshing. See that? He's not trying to be anything that he's not. Ron Perlman swears. Ron Perlman is swears a lot. Swears a lot, Ron Perlman. So, here we go. It talks quite candidly of his early life growing up. Sorry. Growing up in New York City and the life there. Especially a lot about his father, who he absolutely idolised. And his father was, and somebody's lost their father too. I can empathise with this. His relationship with his father was strong and clear, and he clearly looked up to his father. And his father passed away when Ron was quite young. He was only about 19. So he was still entering the formative years of kind of like manhood, if you will, and suddenly dealing with the loss of his father. However, I absolutely admire the tenacity of Ron Perlman's mother and how she coped with it. He doesn't go on a lot about relationship with his mother, but you can tell there's a very, very strong relationship there. His mother is a typical New York woman, just get on with it, and I absolutely admire that. The way he talks about his early life as well. Now, the thing is, I did not realise this, how much Ron Perlman spent on stage, because I'd never seen him ever act on stage. But I would love that, by the way. So, I'd never seen Ron Perlman act on stage, but that's how he cut his teeth for the first time. Being not what you call conventionally attractive, okay, not a Hollywood pretty boy, if you will, he kind of fell in love with a kind of more dark aspect of characters with a bit more depth to them, a bit more nuanced, if you will. And it's quite funny seeing how he went from, I love this, Ron Perlman was on a school swim team, okay, sorry, Ron Perlman was on a school swim team, and he literally was plucked, okay, to audition for a play, and that's how it happened. That is how it happened. He was literally a case of, you just audition for this, and that is how he fell over the theatre. Just these weird kind of moments, these occurrences that kind of led to this job and that job and the next thing. It is really, really quite intense, if you will. Okay? I mean, one thing I absolutely loved is his kind of indifference as well. I mean, this bit here about Quest of Fire. Now, Quest of Fire, I believe, came out in about 1981. It was his first Hollywood film. And it's set in prehistoric times, which, well, title drop, Quest of Fire. Essentially, these, okay, let's call them cavemen, whatever, go on a hunt to find fire after theirs is wiped out. And, yeah, it's a difficult film to explain, but I do recommend it. Great commentary. There you go. So, he's auditioned, but doesn't really know much about Quest of Fire. And this bit I just loved, okay, because this is in difference meeting the director, Jean-Jacques Annaud, okay. Here we go. Wow, pal, you've got to be blown away. About what? About the fact you're on the shortlist for that caveman movie. In fact, it sounds like you're going to get the offer. That's the word around town, that you're going to get the offer. Well, I guess that's cool and all, but sorry, dude, if it seemed underwhelmed by over a fucking caveman movie for some ultra handsome rich French guy. Dude, don't you know who that rich French guy is? I just stared back at him. That's Jean-Jacques Annaud. He just won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film. He's one of the most celebrated, sought after filmmakers on the planet right now, and his next movie is going to be the most serious look at anyone's ever taken at life and what life was like 80,000 years ago. And you big dope, you up for one of the leads. Are you shitting me? For the first time suddenly I'm nervous. I just love that. When he meets Jean-Jacques Annaud, and most first-time young actors, okay, trying to cut their teeth, will be kind of like simpering and kind of like playing up to him and say, Jean-Jacques Annaud, I love your work or whatever. Ron Perlman didn't give a fuck, and that's what Jean-Jacques Annaud liked. I love that brutal, blunt honesty, respect, and Quest of Fire, great film, okay? One thing I like about this book is this. Now I'm going to say this right now about Ron Perlman, okay? One of my favourite character actors. There's a lot of films that aren't been that great, okay? But there's a but to this. He probably meant to be doing some shitty films over the years, okay? Not naming them, okay? He's done some great films too. But he's never done a bad performance in any of these films. That's what I like about him. He's bankable. Because, you know, if you watch a film with Ron Perlman, you're going to get a solid performance. Hey, look at Outlander, okay? Outlander, he's not in it that much, but everyone's talking about him for about half an hour before he even gets there. I'm like, is that like a triumphant herald coming, you know what I'm saying? So, Outlander I actually like, though. Like, it has aliens and Vikings respect. So, yeah, so it just doesn't talk about his stinker films, if you will, okay? It talks about the ones that he knows the audience want to know more about. So, we get from Quest of Fire, we get The Name of the Rose, alright, and obviously Beauty and the Beast. Now this bit I just love because his profound take on Vincent is why we the audience fell in love with him. Even myself back in the wee 1980s. Okay. Even before I sat in Rick's chair and watched the physicalization of this most exotic character, I had a profound notion of the magnificence of this character called Vincent. It was an incredible distillation of all the characters who moved and touched me throughout my own life, and his poignancy lay in the fact that due to an accident of birth that places him in his outcast state, he is prevented from participating fully in the world he loves in the most uncommon of ways, thus forcing him to exist in the shadows, where his interactions with the world are disturbingly minimized. A sadness that befalls his situation juxtaposed against the magnificent force of nature and turns himself into may fall as a tragic character as I'd ever seen in popular culture. He was the outsider. I felt myself to be during so many of my early years, but I chose to counteract whatever might compromise him with grace, elegance, kindness, and self-given education to all things sublime that made him extraordinary. How eloquent is that? That is why. That paragraph, that very long paragraph, sums up the beauty and nuance of a character like Vincent. Perfect. Okay. He also goes forward into talking about the Iron of Dr. Moreau. Okay, which I am not going to spoil as a chapter, but oh my god! Now I did know there's a documentary about this, which because I've actually seen in the Island of Dr. Moreau, and wow, just wow on that film. But as the Saint of the Law, I actually like his performance. It was his idea to play the Saint of the Law blind, because the Saint of the Law evokes justice, and justice is blind. Nice touch. Okay, and then we get to Blade and Hellboy. Now this bit I loved. Okay, I can find it. There you go. It's Guillermo del Toro. Okay, the guy did this. Okay, Guillermo del Toro fought tooth and nail for years to get Ron Perlman to play Hellboy. Now I read on IMDb a while back that when Mike Mignola, who created Hellboy, and Guillermo del Toro met, they said at the same time who should play Hellboy, and they both said Ron Perlman. Okay, so both on the same path, both on the same mentality. Ron Perlman to me is Hellboy. Okay, and not against a new guy, but hey. So for years they were trying to bring up new different characters to play Hellboy, and then after Blade 2, this came up. Studios, they would invariably be asked who he wanted to star and what the budget would be, and once he told them, for the most part, the response was, "We'll get back to you." That is until we got to Joe Roth and Tom Sherrack at Revolution Studios. Joe asked, "How do we get in the Toro business?" and he got the same response. Joe said, "I know the Hellboy project and I'm a fan. Are there any caveats?" G took a deep breath and said, "Yeah, a big one. Ron Perlman plays Hellboy." "And what's the budget?" And G told him. There was a 30-second pause, and then Joe said, "Well, I can't do Hellboy with Ron, who I like, by the way, for that price, but I can do it for..." And then he said a number that was around 30 million less than G's. "If you tell me you can make it for that, we have a deal." After years, like 5 years, trying to get Hellboy off the ground, it came down to that moment. I also like the fact that it looks like that Guillermo del Toro took like a 30 million cut just to get Ron Perlman into that role. And respect, because Hellboy is awesome. Okay, so I just talking about Hellboy. I can't help it. I like Hellboy. So one thing I really love about Ron Perlman, though, excuse me, 15 minutes been talking about this, is the fact is this book is also really blunt about things that are important in books like this. He talks very candidly about his parents' marriage. He talks about his brother and his struggle with mental illness. He talks about being married to his wife, the fantastic name Opal Stone. Okay, that is a great name, but that is like a Bond girl name, Opal Stone. And how a marriage you have to work at. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. He talks about the struggle of being a working actor, the fact that after Beauty and the Beast, it didn't work for 2 years until we got the Name of the Rose gig. He talks about his success and failures and what it's like to be a working actor in a beautiful and candid and really kind of he's not sentimental. He's blunt about this. He's blunt about how him and his wife have needed to see counselling for their marriage. How well, maybe he still does, still sees a therapist. Things that are important to talk about. Mental health is not talked about enough, especially in the gothic world of Hollywood. So for him being so blunt about this is absolutely awesome. He also talks about the future and kind of art and how art and the world is progressing. And this bit I absolutely love. This was the end of the book. And he's absolutely right. This bit. About, he talks about, let's just call it, okay, the Disneyfication, okay, of culture, okay? And all the places we once had that were sanctuaries where we could go, they've been co-opted. The music business is destroyed. We never see a day again where a Beatles, Elvis Presley, Stevie Wonder, Bob Dylan, and even Franklin or Frank Sinatra will emerge. Because there's no more recording industry. In the other arts, it's the same. I love Hemingway. Do you think a guy's work will see the light today now? Here he bouncer at a bar somewhere, where he scribbles stories in his off time, stories that no one would ever buy, because they can download them for free on some fucking internet site. Or that exists now. Who can we find? Who can we sell the most tickets to the biggest swath of people? And you usually have to aim so low to make that happen that you end up taking the whole culture down with it. So in my business, it's all fucking dazzle with special effects. Everything else that might affect the human condition is such a risk, such a gamble, and such a roll of the dice, and the smart money's betting against it. You have to be a franchise superhero to have a movie made about you right now. What did I learn from those motherfuckers? How is my heart moved by them? How it gives them sort of sense that my life makes them sense philosophically and spiritually from watching that fucking fair. We're just anesthetizing ourselves and we're letting those corporate motherfuckers do it. And we're not fighting back because it's too big. So what do you do? Yes! Thank you! Thank you for that bit. That is so true. That is so true. You've got to be someone before you get something done. No studio makes a risk anymore on anything. Nothing new, nothing... Oh, it could be all you it is. Exactly, but to know that one of my favourite actors thinks the same way as I do by this Disneyfication of culture, thank you. So, if you're looking for a really, really good, candid book, okay, about what it's like to be a character actor, kind of outside of Hollywood mainstream, but still embraced by culture, if you will, by us, the fans, I do recommend Ron Perlman's Easy Street the Hard Way, okay? So, I'm talking for almost 20 minutes about this. I'm going to cut this down. So, to Ron Perlman, thank you so much for, like, my 30 years of entertaining me, okay? If you want my favourite character actors, for Hellboy, for Kronos, for the City of Lost Children, which is talked about in this book, and, but I don't want to talk about the chapter, because it's just on the spot, that one. City of Lost Children, for basically everything, okay? Oh, and on behalf of my nieces, Teen Titans, and, Avatar. So, you're great, knows. So, loved this book. Really recommend it. 5 stars all the way. And thank you, Ron Perlman, just for entertaining us for your, God, for such a long time. Me 30 years, but for everyone else, for such a long time. And thank you for Vincent. Okay? So, thank you, Ron Perlman, and thanks to everyone who's watching this, who's watched this so far. Sign off here, and bye now.